So today, this morning, we're going to do a whole body tune-up, getting all the joints mobilized and just feeling fresh and ready to take on your day. So let's get started. If you come onto your mat or into a space, you are very welcome to not use a yoga mat today. If you don't have one, don't want to, absolutely fine. We're going to start standing, so bring your feet about hip distance apart. Take a moment to just close down the eyes or soften your gaze if you're feeling a bit sleepy, and settle into your body. Scanning your body here to notice how your feet feel against the floor. To notice how your ankles feel. Become aware of your legs all the way up through the knees, thighs into the hips and your pelvis. Scanning the body for any tension or stress and just giving yourself a moment to let it go if you notice where there is any in the body. Scanning up through the spine and the torso, the chest. Maybe spending a moment or two in the shoulder area, and then if that means that you need to move around a little bit to release any tension or stress, feel free to do that. Noticing the arms all the way down to your fingertips, and noticing through the neck and your head, maybe even your face. Just taking a few moments here to settle into your body. And then becoming aware of your breath. Noticing how your breath feels here in your body, whether you're breathing through your nose or your mouth, whether you're breathing into your chest or your belly, and the speed of your breath. And as you draw your attention to your breath, can you allow your awareness to settle deeper into your body? So for the next kind of 20 to 30 minutes or so, you are focusing entirely on yourself and your body. Everything else that is going on in your life right now just gently melts into the background. And for this amount of time, you can focus entirely on yourself. Changing the breath now. If you need a little bit of feedback, feel free to bring your hands and take them wrapping around the lower rib cage. This is just going to give you a little bit of external feedback as you breathe in and out through the nose. Can you send your breath into the side of your body, side of your rib cage? Notice as you inhale how the rib cage expands. And then when you exhale, how the rib cage softens. Really trying to send your breath into the area that your hands are resting, into the side of your body. Allow it to be slow and steady. And notice how changing the breath may change how you feel. See if you can keep this breath going without the hands resting on the rib cage now. And then if eyes are closed, you may want to open them back up or maybe keep them closed. It's up to you, but we're going to bend the knees, hinge at the hips so that the hands can rest on your thighs. As you inhale, you're going to create an extension through the spine, so a lift of the tailbone and a reach through of the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to round off, tucking tailbone, pulling the spine up towards the ceiling, pulling chin to chest. And now moving between the two as you inhale and exhale, creating these little cat-cows through the spine. Noticing how the body feels as you create this movement. We're going to take a moment just to fine-tune through the spine by taking this movement even slower and imagining that somebody is walking up your spine with their fingertips. So as you move between cat-cow, you're really imagining or connecting to every single vertebrae through the spine. And we're just collecting information. What you may start to find is that actually there's areas of your spine that feel a bit sticky or stuck together, and that's okay. Just collecting that information. Let's do one more round like this. And the next time you come into flexion through your spine, and you hinge from your hips to fold all the way over the leg here. And then push through your feet and slowly roll all the way back up through your spine. Stacking the vertebrae, one on top of the other. Gently coming all the way up. Head stacking on top. Take a moment to circle the shoulders around. One way and then the other, noticing how that feels in the body. And then taking the arms wide, but in a cactus shape. So you bend at the elbows. We're going to pull the elbows towards each other in front of the chest and then create big circles with the elbows in space. All the way around, we pull them back together. Big circles. Notice how that feels through the shoulder joint. And we change the direction. Every movement, every breath just brings your awareness deeper into your body so that you can connect deeper to yourself this morning. So that when we step off our mat, we are connected to who we are. One more round like this. Amazing. You're going to bring the hands behind your head so that the elbows are wide still, and then pull them together in front of you. Now it's just the right elbow that's moving in order to open up. Try and keep your torso steady, still. We're just moving through the shoulder to open up and the chest. One more like this. Closing off, this time when you open up, you're going to allow there to be a twist through the torso towards the right, and then you close off. We twist, close off, twist. Notice how the twist feels through the torso, through the thoracic spine. One more. Brilliant. You're going to pull elbows down towards the floor to round off through the upper back. And then pull right elbow forwards, up and around, taking yourself into the twist as well as an extension through the spine. And then you circle that elbow forwards, down, and you round off through the upper back. Do two more like that. Opening and closing. Opening, closing. Once you've closed off, we're going to release the arms down, stack the head and the torso back up, and then reach the arms in front of you. Now we're going to focus just on the shoulder blade for a moment. I want you to bring your left hand to your right rib cage to try and keep your torso nice and steady. Your right arm is going to reach forwards from your shoulder blade. So you try and reach the fingertips forwards by pulling shoulder blade forward, and then you squeeze the shoulder blade back. Forward and back. Try and use the muscle underneath your armpit to pull your arm forwards, or shoulder blade forward. And then use the muscles in between your spine in order to pull the shoulder blade back, moving between the two. Last round. And release the arm. We're going to create a full circle through your shoulder joint now. So the palm faces forwards on the right side. We bring it all the way across the body in order to come up by your ear. Rotating through the shoulder so that it's an internal rotation, a forward rotation, to bring the arm down behind you and back. And then as you rotate, you bring the arm all the way down by your hip. And what will happen here is that when you look down at your arm, your little finger faces forwards, palm faces out, and you can see the internal rotation through the arm because the shoulder is kind of rotated forwards. We're going to reverse the direction, so you go back behind you. Now, in order to get back up, you have to create external rotation here. Rotating through the shoulder joint to pull the arm up and around. Let's go again. This time, can you notice whether the rest of your body wants to join in? Try and keep it as still, as steady as possible. Reverse. And release. Before we come on to the other side, tuck chin to chest, bend the knees, roll down through your spine, super slow, super steady. At the bottom, give your head a little shake and a wiggle. You're going to bring your left elbow to rest on your left thigh, and your right arm is going to reach towards the sky to twist. Take a breath here. Exhale and release the arm. Take right elbow to rest on the right thigh. Left arm reaches to the sky. Take a breath. And exhale. Bringing that arm all the way back down. Rolling all the way back up through the spine, super slow. Taking your time to unravel And then we come to the other side. So we're bringing the elbows up, or bending the elbows so the hands come behind the head, bringing the elbows towards each other in front of the face. And then we keep the body, the torso strong and steady as we just open up through the left elbow. Close off. Open. Close. 2 more. Notice how it feels in your body here. This time it's the elbow pulling in order to rotate through the torso, and then we close off. Open the elbow up, rotate, close off. Open up, rotate, close off. Pulling the elbows down to round off through the upper back. And then you pull your left elbow forward, up and around. And as you pull it up and around, you create a twist and an extension through the spine, just slight, so that the torso lifts up rather than staying in that rounded position. And then the elbow reaches up, forwards, and you create flexion through the upper back. Go again. Last one. Releasing the arms, rolling yourself back up to stand. We're going to take both arms out in front. This time, right hand's going to come to your left rib cage, left arm is out in front of you, and you move through that shoulder blade, pulling shoulder blade forwards, reaching fingertips forwards, and then pulling it back. Try and keep the arm really steady as if it's resting on a shelf and it's just sliding forwards and back. Try and connect to the muscle underneath your armpit that causes this pulling forwards, and then the muscles between the shoulder blades in order to cause the retraction. Few more rounds here. Last one. Bringing the arm down so that the palm faces forwards. You're going to reach the arm across the body in order to come all the way up by your ear. From this point, we create internal rotation to bring the arm back behind you and down so that the little finger faces forwards, palm faces out, and then we reverse. External rotation to bring the arm around and down. One more, and I just quite like to holding my rib cage here to avoid it from like moving around so much. Brilliant. Can we take a moment to relax the arms, feel the feet on the ground, and notice how your body feels? We're then going to bend the knees and start to move through the pelvis. So it's a tipping action of the tailbone tips up, tailbone tips down. May not look like much from the camera. Just tipping up and down through the pelvis. And then allowing the hips to circle in space here. So you can create big circles, small circles. You can play around with the knees being bent and the knees being more straight, so a bit more length in the legs. And explore through the direction. So if you need to change direction, feel free to do that now. Moving the hips in big circles, small circles, around in space. Bringing the hips to stillness. Can you bend your knees and circle your knees over the top of your feet here? If you need to come to a wall for a little bit of balance, feel free. But allow the knees to go over your toes. Give them permission to do that. Changing the direction. And then coming back to standing. We're going to bring the right leg so that you're standing on it. Left leg is going to come up into the air, just a little. Again, if you need to hold on to something, feel free. Circling through that ankle. Now, this is not about the balance, so please do hold on to something. We're trying to create mobility, lubrication through the ankle joint here. Change the direction. And then we're going to do the other side. Swapping over. Lots of clicks and cracks maybe. Notice the movement, how it feels. Change direction if you haven't already. And then bringing that right foot back down to the ground. We're going to take the legs a little bit wider than hip distance, so you've got a nice base of support. From here, you're going to reach your right arm across the body and over in a diagonal. So bend the knees, reach the right arm, allow the right heel to come off, and then come back to center and go to the left with the left arm. So we're moving between the two sides. Maybe start slow to begin with, and then increase the speed, just getting the energy moving around the body. When you squat in the middle, can you press the feet down into the ground? Keep going. I'm going to do another 4, 3, 2, 1. When you get to the middle, reach the arms all the way overhead and a big sigh out as you release them down. Bringing one hand onto chest, one hand onto belly, maybe walking the feet a little closer if that feels more comfortable. Relax the shoulders. Feel the energy moving through your body. Checking in with how the body feels. Checking in with how the mind feels. And taking 3 steady breaths here. Before we step out into our day, can we thank our bodies for coming to the mat, for being strong and adaptable? Can we thank our minds for calming down, even if it was just for a moment in space? And can we thank our breath for always being there to support us? We finish with a breath in through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Breathing in, sighing out. And then you are ready to step back into your day.